Hi, everyone, and welcome back to the podcast where we dive into the Canadian curriculum, break down subjects by grade, and give you strategies to help your child or students succeed. I'm your host, Daniel, and today's topic is all about math in grades 4 to 6, a critical stage in the Canadian school system when kids move from the basics into more complex, abstract thinking. If grades 1 to 3 are about building the foundation, grades 4 to 6 are about adding floors and rooms to that house, and in other words, expanding skills, making connections, and preparing for the leap into junior high math. Whether you're a parent supporting homework, a teacher planning lessons, or a homeschooler, this episode will give you a clear overview of what's taught, why it matters, and how to make math engaging and successful for students. Why grades 4-6 are a turning point in math. In these grades, students start to work confidently with larger numbers and more operations. Apply math concepts to real-world situations. Build problem-solving and critical thinking skills for multi-step problems. Develop independence in choosing strategies. This is also when many kids either gain real confidence or start to doubt themselves in math, which is why targeted support is so important now. Grade-by-grade curriculum overview. Grade 4, multiplication and division with larger numbers. Introduction to long division. Place value to 1,000 or 1,000,000. Fractions and decimals. Comparing, ordering, adding, and subtracting. Area, perimeter, and introduction to volume. Time calculations, including elapsed time. Data interpretation with bar graphs, pictographs, and line plots. Strategy, tip. Use real-world context like recipes, travel distances, or sports stats to make math meaningful. Grade 5, multiplication and division with decimals, fractions, adding, subtracting, and multiplying, more advanced long division, introduction to percentages, understanding and calculating averages, mean, median, mode, measuring and converting units, metric and sometimes imperial, geometry basics, angles, symmetry, and coordinate grids, interpreting and creating line graphs. Strategy, tip. At this stage, focus on multiple strategies, not just the way the teacher showed. Encourage flexibility in problem solving. Grade 6, multiplying and dividing larger decimals. Adding, subtracting, multiplying, and dividing fractions. Ratio and proportion concepts. Percentages in depth, discounts, tax, simple interest. Geometry, more complex shapes, surface area, and volume. Introduction to integers and simple algebra. Probability and data management. Strategy. Tip. Start showing students how math connects to money management, sports statistics, and technology, and this bridges school math with real life. Key shifts from primary to junior math. Between grade 3 and grade 4, math changes from being mostly concrete, using blocks, counters, and drawings, to more abstract work with symbols and formulas. Some children need extra time with visual and hands-on tools before fully moving to abstract methods, and that's perfectly okay. The Canadian curriculum supports multiple pathways to the same answer. Building problem-solving skills. In grades 4 to 6, problem-solving means understanding multi-step word problems, choosing an efficient strategy, justifying the reasoning behind the solution. Encourage kids to write down their thinking process. This is a skill that will be invaluable in higher grades. Strategies for parents and teachers. Practice mental math. Quick calculations keep number sense sharp. Mix skill practice with application, worksheets for fluency, plus real-life tasks for understanding. Review old skills regularly. Math builds like a staircase. Missing steps cause trouble later. Encourage math talk. Have students explain why a method works. Incorporate technology. Math games and apps can boost engagement, but balance them with offline practice. Bridging the gap for struggling students. This is one of the most valuable things we can talk about. How to support students who start to fall behind in grades 4 to 6. Math struggles at this stage often come from weak basic facts from earlier grades, difficulty moving from concrete to abstract thinking, low confidence, and math anxiety. Before we get into more strategies for grades 4 to 6 math, I want to share a resource that can make a big difference for both parents and teachers. The Math Workbook Grade 4-6 by Mirvoxid Press. What I really like about this workbook is how it's organized to follow the Canadian curriculum step by step. That means you're not jumping around between random topics. Each section builds naturally on the last, covering exactly what students need for these grades. It's packed with clear explanations, guided examples, and practice questions that start easy and get progressively more challenging, so students build both confidence and mastery. There's a great balance between straightforward skill practice, like multiplication, fractions, and decimals, and applied problems that require reasoning and real-life connections. It also includes review sections, so kids don't forget earlier concepts while learning new ones. That's huge for grades 4 to 6, where gaps in knowledge can cause trouble later on. If you're looking for a structured, reliable, and engaging way to support math learning at home or in the classroom, this is a great choice. I'll leave a link in the description so you can check it out. Alright, let's get back to the video. How to bridge the gap. Diagnostic review. Identify exactly which skills are shaky, multiplication facts, place value, fractions, and focus on those first. Daily 10-minute boosters. Short, focused drills for weak areas work better than occasional long sessions. Visual and hands-on learning. Even in grade 6, manipulatives and drawings can clarify complex topics like fractions or area. Teach concepts in multiple ways. Use number lines, diagrams, real-life examples, and traditional algorithms. Positive reinforcement. Celebrate small wins. Each improvement builds momentum. The goal isn't to rush ahead, it's to rebuild a strong foundation so higher-level topics don't feel impossible. Preparing for grade 7 and beyond. By the end of grade 6, students should be ready for junior high math by having strong multiplication, division, fraction, and decimal skills, understanding basic algebra and geometry concepts, feeling confident in solving multi-step problems. This stage is all about math maturity, the ability to tackle unfamiliar problems with a plan, not panic. Real-world applications of math in grades 4 to 6. One of the most powerful ways to help kids see the value of math is to connect it to the real world. In grades 4 to 6, this becomes easier and more important because students now have the skills to handle more realistic problems. When math is tied to everyday life, it moves from, why do we need this, to, oh, I actually use this every day. 1. Money and financial literacy, calculating sales tax, discounts, and change in real or pretend shopping scenarios, comparing prices and unit costs to decide which product is the better deal, creating a simple budget for a family event or class project. 2. Cooking and baking, scaling recipes up or down using fractions and multiplication, measuring ingredients in different units and converting between them. When kids see that math helps them solve real problems, make smart decisions, and create things they care about, they engage with it more deeply. And that wraps up our complete guide to math in grades 4 to 6 under the Canadian curriculum. If you found this breakdown helpful, hit the like button, subscribe to the channel, and share this with other parents, teachers, or homeschoolers who want to help students succeed. Thanks for listening to Maple Learning Talks. I'm your name, and I'll see you in the next episode, where we'll explore grade 7-8 math and the jump into pre-algebra.